So I felt that it was time to make a video again. I haven't fixed my tooth yet, so it's still chipped. But I'm just going to have to get over that and just make a video anyways, because it's it's still a few days before I get it fixed. But what I was thinking about making a video of today was dialects in Norway, since I've been asked that, and that is kind of an interesting topic, I think. I haven't really planned what to say, but I probably find something to say anyways. In Norway there are a lot of different dialects because of the way the country is shaped. There's a lot of mountains and fjords and like places that are hard to get to, so people in each community lived quite isolated. And also, like in this city, there was like Trondheim, where I live now, before, when people didn't really get around that much, there were a lot of dialects in one city, and still you can see that it's kind of difference between some parts in the city, but not a lot. I live in Trondheim, which is in the middle part of Norway, and yeah, the county or province, I'm not sure what it's called. It's called Trøndelag, and we have a southern part and we have a northern part. And I live in the southern part, and we speak a dialect called Trøndersk. There's a lot of dialects in that dialect kind of, but most people who speak Trøndersk live in Trondheim, because that is the biggest city, and because it is the biggest city, there's a lot of people moving in and out, and therefore our dialect is a bit more washed out and a bit more like the Oslo dialect, even though it's not the same, but it's more like the Oslo dialect than the people living a bit outside, like on the countryside. And what is special about this dialect, like if there's somebody who's tried to learn to write Norwegian, we have a writing language which nobody speaks. So if you have noticed that in the writing you say jeg, J-E-G for I, so like a lot of people will say jeg, but in Trøndelag we say æ, and that is a thing in Norway that is quite like the way you say I is really different from place to place. We have some places where they say ja or I or eg or a or e, so you know there's a lot of different ways to say I, and I think that confuses a lot of people when they come here. They're like but wait, like there's not only just a twisted word, it's like a totally different word. And especially when you talk to old people, when I have been talking to old people from a different place, or especially if they're living in a place like a valley or far in the forest, you know, like a kind of place outside a city, I don't always get what they say. And also when I go to Oslo and like in the eastern part of the country, like my dialect is not hard. It's quite a lot of people speak this dialect. It's not an unusual dialect. Then I sometimes have people have trouble understanding what I say. So that is I think it's kind of cool with all the dialects, and they're getting washed out, and that's a bit I don't really like that, but that's what happens. And also there's a lot of English in the language. I don't know, I told somebody in the comment box or something that there was like 20% of our words are the same as in English, or the origin from English. But basically there's the thing with a, the way we say, and also like it is so different every dialect. And also one big difference between some places is the way we say r, like in Bergen and around in that area, like in the western area, they have a different kind of r, which is a skarre r. They say like, oh, I don't know if I can say it because I don't speak that, but they say like this instead of r. which we say had, we kind of roll our R's. We have quite rolled R's. If I would say Bergen, but the people from Bergen would say Bergen. Oh, seriously, this is embarrassing. I can't say it. Bergen. No. Oh my god. If somebody from Bergen would say this, they would laugh at me. Bergen. Yeah, they have a kind of instead of the rolling R, like so that is one huge difference. Now, most people don't scar their R's, they roll their R's. But for some reason the skarre R is spreading throughout the country because it's said to be easier for children to learn. So in some places there are like half of the people speak the skarre R, and half of the people speak the rolling R. And the skarre R actually comes from French, I think. It is the same as in the France, but it can be different. But it origins from that. And also in our country we have a lot of like other places, our language is influenced by other languages around the area. For example, in North, where there's a lot of Sami people who speak kind of Sami Norwegian. It sounds a bit like, yeah, that language. And also around like in southern part, it's close to Denmark, and in some parts they speak a bit like Danish, in my opinion. So we're really influenced by the way people, around in the area speak. I would say there's some main dialects, and I can say a bit about those. There are like the Oslo dialect and the Eastern dialect, which is what you probably like in the eastern part of Norway, like Oslo and stuff like that. That is what most people would say is like the norm, whatever, in Norwegian, which most people speak. There's a lot of dialects in that area as well. There's not like one dialect. And there we have the southern dialect, which is around Kristian. And we have like a southern dialect, and I have no idea how to say that. But since they don't since they have a bit like Danish, they don't say K. They say G instead. So if I would say cake in Norwegian, I would say kake is cake. I would say kake, and they would say kage. So that is just one thing. And then we have like the Bergen dialect, which has like they're known for their skarre R. And then we have my place, where we're known for like, I think a lot of people said that we kind of cut down the words because we don't use endings in the words. For example, in Oslo, if you're going to say throw, kaste means to throw. But I would say kast instead of kaste. Or for example, we kind of shorten down words, and yeah, we're kind of, I think a lot of people kind of think of Trøndersk, my dialect, as a kind of a, like you live on a farm or something. And then we have kind of further up north, where there's a lot of dialects there too, and I seriously, I don't have a lot of knowledge about that, so I feel like if I say something, it's going to be wrong. But they also, a lot of them also say a as for I in that place, and some people are really influenced, as I said, by the Sami language. So yeah, this really video, I'm not sure if it makes any sense at all. Because I certainly do not have a lot of knowledge about dialects in Norway. I only know what I've heard when people speak. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions about anything or dialects, or if it was something that was wrong, because it probably was, and a lot of Norwegians are going to say that some of the things I've said is wrong, then you can tell me. And yeah, goodbye.